Okay, in this last video on AOIs, we are going to digitize our geo-referenced image. So if you come to ArcGIS Pro, all right, we need to create a feature class for this reason. And let's just go to our geo database and we're going to choose New Feature Class. Okay, and we're just going to call this Kansas Ranch Bounds. And remember, you cannot have any spaces in the name. Okay, it needs to be a polygon, of course, because it will be closed. And then make sure it has the coordinate system, the spatial reference that we're using for the map. And then you could just hit finish. Okay, so some of you may be saying, why did we need that image at all? And that's a very good question, because if you're very familiar with your land, then you can simply sketch on top of this, okay? However, I didn't know exactly where the boundaries were going to be, okay? And so this helped a bit. But now that I know where the boundaries are, okay, I am going to use these roads, okay, that are digitized, and it's going to be more accurate than this JPEG. However, as we saw before, there's going to be a lot of times when you're out in the wilderness or, desert areas, and you're going to need to sketch out your own AOI, and that's where that geo-referencing can come in handy. And we're also going to be using it for other things in this project. Okay, so our Kansas Ranch Bounds is here. Let's click on the symbol, and we need to make it slightly transparent. Okay, so just take that to about a 35 to 40. All right, and then let's go to Edit, and we are going to choose Create, and we can create and modify any of these feature classes, but of course we want to use this guy. Okay, now we will be using these three tools here, okay, and for your arc tool, really the best one to use is going to be this last one. Okay, it really gives you the most control, and we'll be using the line and then the right angle. All right, so let me just double check. We're going to start here in the southeast corner, and see, you do need that. Okay, so right here is where the land is going to come off, and I'm going to switch to a right angle. Okay, so that keeps us, and now I get it perfectly straight and a perfect right angle again. Okay, so far so good. Okay, now we're going to come up here, and you want to make, you do need to, this will be part of your grade. When you have an arc on your AOI, you need to make that arc, okay? And with the arc tool we've chosen, we simply need to click right about at the beginning of the arc, okay? And then at the end, and then we're going to choose this straight tool, go back to arc, just do the beginning, the end, let's get the straight tool. Okay, and what we're doing here is called digitizing. All right, and now I need to come up here. So I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to do this entire AOI, all right, and then show you what to do when you're finished drawing. Okay, while I'm tracing, I just want to give you a couple of tips and tricks. If you have a very long straightaway, all right, and actually I've used this JPEG quite a bit. Okay, so there's my corner. If you have a long straightaway, less is more. Okay, you don't want thousands of little vertices. Every time you click the mouse, you're creating a vertex. Okay, where you do need to make those vertices curved, make sure you use your curve tool. We went over that. And then the other thing to remember, okay, is this is a good scale. You want to be right about in there. And the other thing to remember is if you put one way out for some reason, just do a Control Z and it'll go back, and you could do that Control Z as much as you like. And the other thing is, if you have made a mistake way in the back, don't worry about it. We can adjust any one of these vertices later on. Okay, and one more important thing is when you are finished, you can click this green check box, okay, or you can simply type F2. Okay, now this represents, quite a bit of work, and it's good work. However, it needs to be saved. Remember, anytime you see that, click it, okay? So now this is saved as data in your feature class. Okay, we can clear the selection. Okay, and of course, like any other data, you can symbolize this the way you see fit. Okay, now keep in mind, we can also make linear or polyline feature classes. Okay, if we want to outline certain rivers, say this, and I think this is a hunting ranch partly, and say he wants to pinpoint where his stands are or feeders, you can create a point feature class. Okay, and so this way of working is really effective for maps that you want to hand tailor yourself, and especially for NRM disciplines, you really want to know how to do that, because most of your maps, yes, you will be using ready-made data, but you're also going to want to include data that you have field verified yourself. Okay, so that's it for creating your AOI.